Uh, all right. Well, I just got finished over there on IG, so I just left the cards out that came out, and what a lineup we got. And I'm gonna leave these up here because this is going in line with what I said I was gonna talk about over there on IG tonight, which is about um, spiritual mindfulness and spiritual health at this time. With everything going on in the world, with all the truth coming out, there's going to be a lot of people who are coming to the realization that maybe, just maybe, that quite wasn't it. And I've invested so much time. It's kind of like being uh, a Christian in a crooked church kind of thing. It really has nothing to do with the spirituality, but you've been in the church giving tithes to somebody who's been using your money for devious shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of forgiveness and healing in that. You know what I mean? Especially when we're dealing with people that we've supported that have been taking advantage of our traumas and our fears in order to make a dollar, kind of thing, or bind us in some way, where we are forever subservient to that energy. You know what I'm saying? Where we don't have our own inner guidance system and thoughts and feelings about things. So the Sag Moon tonight, and I say to the ancestors, that's my grandmother back there, holding it down. But over the years of experiencing, let's just say tarot for what it is, being I've always been interested in it. I've always had a pull towards it. The Oracle decks, it doesn't matter, the major, the Rider Waite, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But over the years, I've seen how this has become just like a lot of other arts that I've been privy to, such as the martial arts, where something with such a pure essence becomes commercialized, oversaturated, and watered down. And the problem with that is, or the danger with that is, when people who are not privy to that kind of knowledge or who have never experienced it, who may come in there with their questions and their open heart and open mind, are kind of sucked into places where it just adds on, you know what I'm saying? Or it doesn't help one become aware enough to really solve their own problems in life, or trusting their own intuition to make the correct decisions for themselves. You know what I mean? So it ties into this reading of action right about now. Actions are going to speak louder than words. We'll look at this at the top as what it looks like when you talk about spirituality and the people that you connect with. Are they of open heart? Are they unbiased? Regardless of what you look like, what gender, what race, what denomination, it's an open hearted place where everybody communes and gets what they need in order to move forward in life. You know what I mean? Become autonomous again. And really learn how to express in their own unique way. This is for me, this is my philosophy. And again, this is mine. You know what I'm saying? Not here to ask anybody to follow anything. It's just about bringing it to the awareness, because I walked the path and I'm still walking in the path and I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? For all my wins, I'm still bumping my head at some places. You know what I mean? But there's a humility there where you learn that the rest of the world is also your teacher, and there's much to learn from people as much as I have to offer. But this is the ultimate goal, is to get into that place of self-expression where you can speak, be creative, be exactly who you are without feeling like you're out of place. You know what I'm saying? Or feeling like you're not doing what you came here to do. Energy, the value system, the philosophy, the self-worth, the inheritance, the fortune, the self-care, the self-love. The red moon wave spell has been here for a couple of days. It'll be here for a couple more days. It's helping us clear out old clutter This is a flushing. This is like getting an enema. You know what I'm saying? A universal enema. With this red moon, helping us to purify our beings on all levels. So we're clearing out the mental clutter, the emotional clutter, you know what I'm saying, the mental and emotional clutter, but we're also readjusting our values that match who we are in this energy of self expression, you know what I'm saying? Of our creative nature, and helping us to purify the channel of energy. This is spiritual feng shui going on right about now. Energetic, I should say, on all levels. Over here, we have the king of clubs, learning something new. This is when the teacher is still the student, open to new seeds, planting new seeds of intentions, experiencing something new, the expansion of something that's already been built upon. So if you're a black belt first degree, this would be you going for your second and third. You go back to the teacher. You become a great teacher, but you go back to being the student again with that open mind, that open heart. And this is what adds value to the experience that we're all having. You know what I'm saying? We're learning. We're here to learn about ourselves. We're here to experience ourselves through other people and other situations. Uh, however that sits with you, you know what I'm saying? So being mindful of what you're watching, is it something that people are telling you you want to hear, or are you getting the juice on things that you yourself need to take into accountability? And this is the big part right here about why it's so important to have this spiritual integrity as a reader, because now the truth is out. Now that all these things are being exposed, thank you very much, Saturn in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius, and numerous other things going on energetically. We're seeing what the real is. For a lot of people, this comes as a shock. For, you know what I'm saying, because we've put too much, invested too much of ourselves into things outside of ourselves, looking for answers on this and that. You understand what I'm saying? Or really selling ourselves short and not realizing just how great we are just as we are. You know what I'm saying? And being guided not to continue, but to expand and take that time out to really work on yourself. That is the work, you know what I'm saying? To switch it up. Not being scared to go in a new direction, take on a new endeavor. And a lot of times we might not know what that is, and that's just fine. But at this time, the best thing we can do is make room for it. And by that, it's merely something as simple as going through your emails. 6,000 emails are sitting in my inbox on one of my emails. And I went through all of them. And I noticed that at a certain point, I didn't even have to go through all of them. I just clicked select all, and I went down and I only found the ones that were relevant to now. You understand? And the rest of those 6,000 plus emails, they got deleted. And I only kept the ones that I wanted to review to see if they were worth keeping or not. You know what I mean? So I found a lot of hidden gems that I've forgotten about along my journey while doing that as well. Maybe it just needed a tweaking or a refurbish, or maybe it was just a matter of timing. You understand what I'm saying? And now this is the perfect time to bring forth that idea instead of having it sit on the back burner. So this clearing of space, this feng shui, and opening the channels, not being so rigid. You know what I mean? This is flexible. This is yoga shit. So that what's coming in has no problem settling in. It's not competing with an old program, causing conflict. You know what I'm saying? It's not competing for room like flowers in the garden. Everything has its space to grow. So this feng shui really is pulling up the weeds and clearing the space and nourishing the soul. This is a time for forgiveness. This is a time for, resentment. You can't have resentment and all that shit coming with you. You got to let all that baggage go. So figuring out what serves us at this time. The people you may gravitate towards, as far as readers back in the day, it might be a whole different ball game now. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be able to see, like I did, like I discovered, a lot of people are hiding behind this, whether it's just to make money or this is where they hide their own insecurities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Their own hurts and pains, and they're using this as a modality to get back at that certain thing. So an example would be when you see readings saying divine masculine versus divine feminine. That's causing the separation. This is where you start seeing the things of blame them, don't be accountable for your part in it, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that would make you feel great. We're not here for the dopamine hit. That's just temporary. You want the change that's permanent, that sticks. You know what I mean? So when you're looking for spiritual guidance and things of this nature, you want people who have gone through the experience, and you could tell because they offer examples of that experience. Whereas some of these what we gonna call them charlatans out here nowadays, they're just lips. You know, it's just lip confession at the end of the day. There's nothing to back it up. It's just regurgitated shit that you heard all throughout the time that you've been watching this shit. You know what I mean? For however long. You know what I mean? To the point where sun, moon, rising, Venus. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and all this other shit. It's like a regurgitated dialogue that has gotten old as fuck. You feel me? To where we're now stuck in spirituality because of that. It's like you can't move forward out of that. And when people come forward with new information and ideas, it's frowned upon. You're looked at as you know what I mean? A crazy person. Even though we're all sitting here watching and reading cards type shit. When you're looking for a mentor, when you're looking for information on something new, especially in the realms of healing and reprogramming, taking all the old shit out and putting what you feel for you right now in, you want the suggestions of spiritual practices that you could take on firsthand so that you can see whether it works for you or not. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just doesn't work for you, but this will at least open you up to the ideas of what you can do for yourself. That's what, for me, my philosophy of this, of reading for people, is to get you to crack yourself open. You know what I'm saying? And walk it so that you have the experience of it, of yourself, because that is the greatest gift. I will never do predictions or readings based on what's going to happen, because it takes the power out of your hands. It takes the choice away from you. You know what I'm saying? And now you're stuck repeatedly coming back for that dopamine hit instead of putting the real work in, which will stick. You know what I'm saying? Where you start to trust your intuition and what you're feeling and thinking at this time. And, you know, all that fly shit. So this is the follow-up reading to the one on IG under phoenix.nebula.9. But this one I had to save for, because this is my transition and this is my learning process, going from one platform to another for various reasons, right? Because of this expansion. I can do shorts now that are more relevant. I can do lives. I can put posts in there, but it's a wider audience. So this is that Jupiterian energy of tonight and tomorrow and the following day of the moon that we're in with Sagittarius. And also the communication, because quite right opposite of that is Gemini, which is about to get Jupiter. So we're talking about new languages, learning new languages, traveling, moving. You know what I'm saying? Talking about going from grade school and graduating to the higher forms of education. You know what I'm saying? So all these different things of newness can really come in, and we have space now to entertain it. Well, I don't want to say entertain it, to welcome it in. You know what I mean? Because you look at the words. You know what I'm saying? Really pay attention to the words with Gemini. There, it's going to give us that key, because the word entertainment to me is entertainment. You feel what I'm saying? So taking a really close look at what we've been accepting our whole lives. The best example I've given thus far, based on the experience I had, is when this dude walked down the street this night and asked me if I had a light. of course, for the cigarette, whatever. And I didn't have one, so I said, no, I don't have a light. But what am I saying to myself subconsciously when I say I don't have a light? You feel what I'm saying? So we got to get out of this programmed way of responding and reacting to the things based on prior experience, and really be present and in the moment about what we're receiving and how it relates to us. You know what I'm saying? So that we are planting the correct seeds in the correct soil, so that we have a clear understanding of why we're planting these seeds in this soil, and what we're doing, what we're using as far as information to program those seeds. And what that is study. This is not just a study of things outside of self. This is a study of things within oneself. This is the value and how we exude that. You know what I'm saying? What you're willing to accept and what you're willing not to, based on your value system. It's a level up, and it takes a lot of accountability. So getting back to that part of accountability, you don't want to put that in anybody else's hands. It's a superpower at the end of the day. Being accountable for one's own existence, one's own path. But at the same time, knowing that there are people out there that we can look towards for guidance and mentorship, who can help us come into our own power, our own philosophy, you know what I'm saying? Into our own natural state of being, so that we can do what we came to naturally do down here. Because I heard, if you've seen the Jaguar Wright video, I totally felt her 100% when she said she doesn't blame R. Kelly. She blames the fans for supporting the shit. You know what I'm saying? Even when the truth was out with Aaliyah and all that shit, people were still buying the records. So it's like we have to be really mindful of where we're investing our time and our energy, and being accountable for that, whatever the circumstance may be, however it comes back as far as results and consequence. You know what I mean? And making those necessary changes so that our children don't have to experience what we've experienced at this time. We're the brave ones who came to make the transition and take the hits. Let them be the one who can experience this reality in a way it was meant to be experienced, which is the pure joy of co-creation with the universe and with the people around you, without the nonsense, really. You know what I mean? It's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? It comes from having a firm foundation. And at this time, as a collective, we can really construct what that means. We can really redefine relationships and what those mean, you know what I'm saying, for ourselves and for our communities, locally and globally, you know what I'm saying, and coming to an understanding and an agreement. Make it sound simple? Yeah, you know what I'm saying, but it's what we're here for at this time to do. Timing is everything. If you weren't ready for this kind of work, or to dive into this parts of yourself and expand and having that opportunity, you would have been born in another time. You would have been born, and a lot of us have anyway, to get that kind of soul memory and experience. But right now, with what's going on in the collective, it's like, geez, what a time to be alive is an understatement. So with all that being said, enjoy the moon tonight. Enjoy yourselves, your family, those you care about, your investments. Be mindful of where you're spending your time and your energy, and know that the journey is about you being in full control of your destiny, and knowing when to cut certain things off and add new things on, so that journey is as fulfilling and as prosperous as you dare to imagine or dream at this time. You know what I mean? Let the universe surprise you, kind of shit. You know what I mean? Just make room for it. That's all it is. This red moon, flush it all out, throw away the old lessons, and be open to new. But also be mindful, you may be carrying stuff that really works and still is relevant, and it's really just about expanding on that crack. So, a whole bunch of good stuff going on. Just stay in the flow of this red moon until we get to the next cycle, and pay attention to the transits and what they mean for you in your chart. And that's the other thing I wanted to put on top of that. When you're looking at, let's say you're watching a tarot video just to see what's going on with the energy for your sign, don't just look at your sun sign. Ideally, you should be looking at all 12 or 13, depending which system you're in, because you are all 13 signs or all 12 signs. And those readings from a genuine person who does that, I don't do the signs and all that. I may do them down the line. I can't say whether I will or not. But for right now, I don't do that because it feels too fragmented of a message. Whereas I can give you a collective reading, you can apply it to where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? But know that all those signs correlate to some part of your life. You know what I'm saying? It may hit your house, it may hit your fourth house for a certain sign, but this other sign might be in your house of business. You know what I'm saying? So you can really get a full picture of what's going on holistically with you instead of being so fragmented and divided. You know what I'm saying? Divided at this time. So I wish you a prosperous journey at this time and all your endeavors. I truly hope you discover parts of yourself that you didn't even know were there, or you accomplish things that you didn't even know you were able to accomplish or achieve, because that's what time it is right now. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to really step into our own power and be of service, but also knowing that we are always going to be the student. There's always something to learn, no matter how far up the scale you are or where you're at in life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something to offer. All right. So peace and blessings. Let me rephrase that, because see, that's the other thing. You don't want pieces. You want the wholeness. So wholeness, and you don't want the blessings, because you can be less all you want. So let's say wholeness and be more. Moving forward, you know what I'm saying? May your light and dark be harmoniously intertwined in the cosmic dance of creation. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.